welcome to Courageous Living. I'm your host, Kiki Ramsey, and on this show, I aim to help you live courageous in everything you do. Today, we're going to be talking about dealing with change. Yes, I said it. We are talking about change because at some point in your life, you're going to have to deal with change, whether it be big or small. So if you really want some awesome, amazing tools and tips, don't go anywhere because right after this, I'm going to teach you how to tackle change. We're going to be talking about dealing with change. At some point, we all deal with change in our lives. You know, it could be a death in your family. It could be job loss. It could be someone who's important moving away from you. Your best friend leaving. You name it, it's change. But what do you do when change happens in your life? I know a lot of us, sometimes we rebel against change. We say, guess what? I don't want this change, and so I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm going to sit here like a bump on a log, and I'm going to pout. And you do that. But I'll ask you, how far does that get you when you just pout and complain about the change in your life? I've been through so much change in my life, I can't even keep count. It's been numerous changes that have happened in my life. I mean, even more recently, my grandmother passed away. God bless her soul. I miss her so much. But I've had to deal with that change and the pain of that change in my life. But the one thing that I know that I can't do is I can't bury my head in the sand and say that I'm going to do no more. And neither can you. When change happens, you can't just run away and hide as if it didn't happen in your life. So I really wanted to just talk to you today about how to deal with change, how to embrace change, how to make change actually work for you. And I'm just going to give you a couple tips so that you can go forward in your life and you can deal with change just a little bit better. So number one is you really need to acknowledge the change. You have to acknowledge it. So here's the thing that I say all the time, and I love this saying. You cannot deal with what you first cannot acknowledge. Nobody. None of us can. So if you can't acknowledge that it even happened in your life, then how are you supposed to deal with it? How are you supposed to overcome it? And how are you really supposed to move forward in your life? You won't be able to do that. So you first have to acknowledge that this change has happened in your life. And for me, it was a very hard thing to do, but I knew that my grandmother's health was failing and that she might not be with us that much longer. And when she passed away, I had to truly acknowledge the fact that she was gone and she was no longer with us. Was it hard? Absolutely. Is it still hard? Absolutely. But every single day I'm able to move forward because this is something that I have acknowledged in my life. So I asked you, what is it that you need to acknowledge in your life? Did you have a death in your family? Did someone move away that you love? Did you lose a job? You have to acknowledge that that thing happened so that you can move forward. Number two, you have to choose how you respond. All of us get a choice. You get a choice. I get a choice. We all have a choice on how we're going to respond to change. So if you decide that you don't want to acknowledge change and you want to respond negatively and you want to complain, then it's going to be so much harder for you to move forward in your life in a positive way. That is if you want to move forward in your life in a positive way. And I think that you do if you are watching this video. So you have to choose how to respond. So if you have this major loss in terms of like if you've lost your job or something like that, or if you've got downsized or if you've got demoted, choose how you respond to the situation. The more positive you can respond to that situation, the better. Why? Because at the end of the day, when you can master your own emotions, then opportunities to you can open up that you never even seen coming. And then number 3, you have to find the lessons in your change. Find the lessons in your change. You might not always know them right off, right? And I've always asked myself, when I lose somebody in terms of death, what is the lesson in that? And the one thing that I can say is that I loved that person while they were here. Death is a part of life. And that might just be the only lesson that I know, but it's ultimate for everybody. Death is going to happen in all of our lives. But the thing that I know that I did when my grandmother was here on this earth is that I loved. And I learned how to love. And every day I try to love more unconditionally. So that's the lesson that I feel like I learned in that situation. But what's the lesson that you learned in your situation as it pertains to change? Let those lessons carry you forward and create opportunities in your life versus negative effects in your life. You have options. You have options in your life. So this week, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me what is going to change in your life and how you're going to deal with it. What change are you experiencing in your life and how you plan to deal with that change in a positive way? As always, meet me over on KikiRamsey.com where the conversation happens. I really would love to hear your comments and how that change is going to affect your life in a positive way. And leave a post on this blog. I can't wait to hear from you. And until next time, live courageous.